And welcome back to the Weekly Tech Round with me, Jay.
And me, Karl.
And it's episode 249, nearly at 250. Look at that.
Darn.
Can't believe we've nearly done 250 episodes. Isn't that crazy?
It's a lot of talking.
That's one way of describing
it. Or rambling, maybe.
Indeed. Well, we are back for a bit of a roundup on tech this week. I guess it's a bit of a quieter week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Must be something to do with the weather. It has cooled down a little bit here today. The last few days in the UK, I think, and most of Europe have been absolutely bonkers, haven't they, with temperature? Yeah. So, did you see it last night? Well, in fact, you told me about it, I should say, is OpenAI, Anthropic dropped the latest version of Claude, which is their Opus 4.8 model, and have increased the way it works as well. Apparently saying it's a meaningful update, wasn't it? Rather than a kind of a massive increase
be more
on
honest, apparently.
Yeah, and I've also noticed that they've changed the effort thing as well. So if you notice when you go into use Claude now and you've got the model, the effort bar now has been set to default for low on Sonnet 4.6. But if you're having a chat with Opus 4.8, for example, the default is slightly different. And, you get different outputs on it. I have noticed, having a little bit of play this morning, that Opus 4.8, unsurprisingly, chews through tokens like a dog after a bone.
Okay, good, hey?
It is that good, yeah.
I can't check. I didn't use it. This morning, I think I used it to push a dev to production build. So that took. Well, I say that took nothing. Sometimes I've had to take 20% of your token usage. I'm like, I'm just pushing to production.
I know it is definitely. This was a bit like before, though, wasn't it? When they pushed out, was it 4.7, and we saw similar things happening, didn't we? On that point,
yeah, we did.
But look, I'm interested. I have to say, Claude has become my default now versus OpenAI. I really like the reasoning. I like the style of communication I get with Claude. Claude also appears to be far better at leveraging memory and understanding context from other conversations you've had, and it does a good job there. But it is looking quite good. I did see something else today though. That was the pre-IPO valuation of Anthropic apparently now is around $965 billion. They've just done it. They've just done another round apparently, which was around I think 65 billion Series H. So crazy stuff, on that front.
Okay.
Yeah. So those IPOs, I mean, there was something I saw, it might have been yesterday, it was saying that the current IPOs of Anthropic, OpenAI, and SpaceX will exceed the 300 plus IPOs of the .com boom.
Okay.
In total market value.
I did see one actually on SpaceX from their filing that they currently hold 18,712 bitcoins.
Yeah,
1.4 billion.
Where did that come from? I mean,
I don't know.
The SpaceX IPO document was very interesting actually, because they talked a lot about the satellites. They talked about how basically Starlink is a cash cow for them. The cost of launching rockets. So I have to say it was a very interesting document, and a lesson apparently. So I've been told in how to write an IPO. So impressive.
Oh, really? Okay.
Impressive.
All right.
Yeah. Only because of from a tech.
Nothing to do with it then.
Oh, I suspect probably not. I mean, Grok probably did, but I don't want to. I don't want to suggest anything else.
No, it'd been a lot more. What's the word? No, it slipped my mind. Controversial, maybe, if Grok had written it.
That might be the yes. That might be it. Well, let's not go there. Right. So what we got this week then? We're going to talk about ClickUp, who has decided after layoffs they're going to pay their staff more money. That's an interesting one. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang talks around big investments in Taiwan, as well as planning a new HQ. Valve. Well, if you're thinking of buying a Steam Deck right now, I'd hold off just for a little while. We'll talk about that as well in a second. There have been some new iOS 27 leaks ahead of WWDC, which may reveal the new design of Siri, plus camera app and other things. And the new CEO for Xbox, Asher Sharma, has said there are tough decisions ahead, but what those might be, we are unsure of. All right. So first, then, let's kick off this story about ClickUp, which is a SaaS company, isn't it? Who have
Yeah.
um, said that 22% of their company are going to lose their jobs in
Yep.
a mandatory redundancy. But for those that are, and I use the word survivor because that's what they've called it, the survivors, are going to get a pay rise apparently.
Yeah, this is an odd one. So there was a CEO, was it Zeb Evans? He announced on X, great way to announce that one, that they're making this 22% cut, but kind of claimed business is the strongest it's ever been. And he's basically saying that he's done this because the way they operate at the highest level of productivity is changing, and to win the future, ClickUp needs to change with it. Basically, so they've cut 20%, but they are saying they'll be introducing $1 million salary band. So if you create an
Whoa.
outsized impact using AI, what if you create it not using AI? He didn't say about that one. You will be paid outside of traditional bands. And he's going on about them becoming a 100x org, where he expects people to do 100x output using AI.
I
Yeah. This was an interesting take also. He says AI makes the best engineers wildly more productive, and everyone else using AI slows these engineers down. Okay.
did you see though what how he sees the future of work and what the job titles are gonna change to as well? Did you
Oh, agent managers, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll get agent directors,
Yeah.
um, um, agent. What was that? Sorry, I had the notes here because it just threw me. Yeah, that was it. Great engineers become agent directors because they're managing the agents right here, and those the one who wield AI effectively, as you say, become agent managers as well with long-term job security. Um, and those people who interact with humans on a regular basis are apparently bottlenecks. It's like okay, it's like
Yeah.
very peculiar, very peculiar.
Yeah, I mean,
Ah,
look, they're not the only people who've fired a large percent of their, employees recently. We've got Cisco a couple of weeks back with 4,000 jobs. Cloudflare did what, 1,100 jobs, didn't they?
yeah,
For people who just aren't AI enough. Intuit, 3,000 jobs. Didn't blame AI though. A Meta cut what 7,000 more due to AI. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cuts due to AI at the moment.
but I mean, it's unheard of. Well, I say it's unheard
Yeah.
of. It's not common for those that have been cut, companies that cut jobs, to then give other people higher pay banding. Typically, nobody gets a pay rise from other redundancies. That is not
Yeah,
the
but
usual
he
thing.
phrased that very specifically that you have to create an outsized impact using AI on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. It's very specific, isn't it? That,
Very
basically,
specific. Yeah.
no one's getting these $1 million pay bands, are they? Or very few.
Well, I certainly am not. Well, but I don't work for ClickUp either, though.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it is. I think again, we're seeing more of these AI layoffs. Um, I don't know. Are we? I don't think this is the end of it. Definitely, we're going to see more of these.
No,
But
not
it
at all.
is, yeah, it is. It's a different perspective, isn't it, so to speak?
Yeah,
You
it is.
know.
It is.
But I don't know. I just like I said, the whole piece of laying off and giving people these new $1 million salary bands is just crazy talk, isn't it? We're into a whole new world of high band salaries with these AI positions,
Well,
and those
we're
that
not into it. I don't think we're
well,
going to
no,
get
no,
into it.
no.
But I mean, other
Caveat: we're
people
not.
maybe.
But what I mean by that is that you know if you think about some of the things that we've seen in the news over the last year or so
Yeah.
around these really, I want to say spectacular people who have got the skills and the knowledge it's like I think we saw it, didn't we? Was one of the guys who paid more than Ronaldo was a year or something, wasn't it? The football player, and they were
Yep.
citing that it is a bit like sports teams, looking to get the best players on the pitch. And I don't know, it's just at some point though that has to stop because how do you justify so much of your outcome on salaries? If you're not getting the revenue. But that's I
Well,
guess
yeah.
another question.
If you fired everyone, then they've got who's buying your product if
Well,
everyone's
yeah.
been fired because of AI.
Well, that is not a problem. However, our next story is talking about Jensen
No.
Huang. of Nvidia certainly is not short of cash, and as far as I'm aware, is certainly not laying people off at that rate either. But I know they do pay people very well, apparently, Nvidia, don't they?
They do indeed, yes. He has announced, though, that he's going to spend 150 billion with a B in Taiwan every single year.
Wow, that's a lot of cash. A lot of cash.
That is an awful lot of cash,
I
yes.
hope. Well, what's he going to do when China turns up, though? Then.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe use AI.
Well, he has said that Taiwan is the epicenter of the AI revolution, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
this is a 10x increase in annual spending.
well, yeah, that's
In
what.
5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
a
gone
lot
from
of
10 to
cash.
15 billion to like 150 billion in 4 or 5 years. He's also building a new headquarters in Taiwan, isn't he? Costing 1.3 billion and apparently creating around 4,000 jobs. Breaking ground later this year, I think, and going to be finished by 2030.
Well, I mean, not bad when your company's valued at over $5 trillion. I guess you can still splash a cash. Amusingly,
1.3
though,
billion
this
is pocket change, isn't it?
it is amusingly this story that we picked up from PC Gamer initially said that they were building, wasn't it, a $5 trillion
It was so
head.
headquarters. I was like, sorry, what? That's more than what the company's worth.
I was like, how big is this office?
It's made of solid gold. Everything.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I say, $1.3 billion headquarters, creating around 4,000 new jobs in it. Again, definitely sees I want to invest here and create there. Whether or not that's going to have any more, I guess, manufacturing, we know that Taiwan, with TSMC and other companies, the chips are there, they're packaged there. TSMC and Nvidia have got a very close relationship, haven't they? Because effectively, without the other, there wouldn't be the market cap there is today. There wouldn't be the chips that are driving there.
Yeah.
I would argue though that the Chinese aspect must be a concern. It must be a concern, surely.
Yeah, I mean, when he was over on the Air Force One with Mr. Trump, wasn't he, trying to patch up trade relations with China? And I know that the US did then approve, was it the H200 chips?
They
Sales
did, yeah.
10 Chinese firms. Though it has been noted that China hasn't actually approved the deal yet.
No, no. I mean, and that was a large market for them. I'm
It was,
sure.
and apparently it's now zero.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a grey market there going on. That whether not that
100%.
Nvidia
There's
would be involved,
definitely a grey market going on.
but there's got to be picking up. But given that, let's be honest, nobody else in the world is making this kind of equipment. I think also, without getting into the geopolitical aspect of the Taiwan situation, it does make it again why it is such a high value target, isn't it? Because ultimately, whoever controls Taiwan, is going to control the spice, as they'd say in Dune, isn't it? Control the galaxy.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of argument, isn't it? If you took Taiwan out of the equation right now, what would that do to global computing? It would decimate it, wouldn't it, overnight?
Yeah. I think that's the same as if you were to take ASML out, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the difference with that, nobody's going to invade the Netherlands at the moment, at least not that I'm aware of.
Whoa, you don't know. Don't give Trump ideas.
Well, after Greenland, it's like the Dutch.
He's going for Netherlands. Yes, why not?
We've had enough of you, the Dutch. We're coming for you now.
You and your stroop waffles.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you infest the world with your stroop waffle? Oh dear. The heat is getting to us. But yeah, I mean, definitely doubling down. Keep moving forward. The stock, interestingly, I don't know if you've noticed over the last month or so of Nvidia stock, it's been relatively stable. They've had a bit of a peak. I think it's averaged around sort of the 220 mark, give or take, roughly for the last month. Apart from a dip at the end of, apart from a small dip at the start of May, it has continued to, be around that area. The growth, there is still a growth element on it, but it's not one that you're going to be thinking, is this going to grow massively? Because where does it go, isn't it? What else can they be doing beyond, as you say, the Chinese market? I suppose there's got to be some other diversification here, and as we've talked about before with the PC element, the other chips, isn't it, those sort of things. But Yeah, I'm curious at this point. Where do they go? Where do they see the stock going?
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting to see how this one plays out.
Well, it is. I mean, if you look at the markets for the last couple of days, um, a lot of stocks had a bit of a rally the last few days, haven't we? It's been
They have.
green.
Yep.
Some cybersecurity stocks did tank quite heavily um, over the last couple of days. There was a couple of earnings calls, wasn't there? Um,
Yeah, some
you
bad
know,
earnings calls.
two bad earnings calls. Of course, Cloudflare hasn't really recovered um, from its high of 257 right at the start of the month to where it is.
The
I
market
think
did
around.
not like them canning everyone.
No, they've slowly climbed back up to 228, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
Where they are, but yeah, it wasn't a good place at all. But all
Which
of
is a
them, all of
strange
the
one
big,
because I'm pretty sure Cisco climbed when they got rid of everyone.
well, Cisco stock is definitely. I mean, they've they've bizarrely not dropped. They
Yeah, no,
are
I'm pretty
being,
sure they went up on the announcement of that one, but
yeah,
Cloudflare were punished.
yeah,
But
they've
it's the
they've
markets. Who knows what's going on?
yeah, like everybody else, from the end of April, they were at a dip. They've slowly rallied to a high around the middle of the month, and have stayed there. And I think around
Yeah,
120 or
well, they
so now,
jumped.
give or
Yeah, they
take.
jumped from 100 up to 116 or whatever, didn't they?
Yeah,
Mid month.
so weird stuff, weird stuff. But everybody else, appears to be on a bit of a climb. We've seen everybody else perform nicely. Apple just again continues to push forward. I should say at this stage that any financial advice here is not financial advice whatsoever. We are
No, this
not
is advice
licensed.
whatsoever.
If you are investing, do not do it off our say so, and you will probably make a loss. But that being said, yeah, Nvidia definitely has clearly a game plan here. They want to double down in Taiwan. They want to increase the presence there, and of course, I would imagine increase production as well. Whether that's going to help us in this current climate with the AI apocalypse of chips and other stuff, I'm not convinced. And obviously, that's something we're going to talk about next, isn't it? Really?
Yes, yes. If you don't have a Steam Deck already, and you are looking to buy one, the value proposition has died and the price has gone up considerably. Yeah, new pricing. The RAM apocalypse and other shortages have kind of hit it, and you're now looking at what the old Steam Deck OLEDs, the 512 ones, were 550, and the new price is $790, so plus $240. And the 1 terabyte's been hit even more. I mean, that was what 650 and is out at $950, so a £300 increase.
It's
Ba-
crazy, isn't it?
Basically, putting it more expensive than a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy, crazy stuff, isn't it? Um, the blog post that Valve put out, didn't they? They said that the Steam Deck hasn't changed, but reflected the current state of component costs and other global logistical challenges across the industry as a whole. Cough,
Yeah,
straight off Hormuz, maybe. Um,
yeah.
it's just, I mean, that is a hell of a hike, isn't it? I mean, I still haven't got one, but I've got another bit of long haul travel potentially coming up in a few weeks' time. And funnily enough, whilst I was booking it, I was thinking to myself, God, wouldn't it be good to have a Steam Deck?
I think at these prices now, you might be better off upon the other ones like the MSI or the Zeus one. You get similar pricing and better hardware.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I guess it's just that Valve. It's the Apple argument, isn't it? A lot of my games are on Steam. It just works, doesn't it? It's the Apple. It just works. But
It does, but
you know,
you can put Steam OS on some of these. Actually, some of the Lenovo ones ship with Steam OS.
yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, did you see that Lenovo one you and I were talking about the other day when we were off air? There was that Lenovo retro game handheld. Was it the
Yeah, that
G02?
was a random one, like a Game Boy, did it?
Yeah, so that has now um, been pulled from sale.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I suspect they're too much of a brand name that someone's gone. Probably Nintendo have gone after them and sent a cease and
yeah.
desist, and they've gone, "Oh, whoa there." It was a bit of a
Uh,
random one.
yeah, so I saw it yesterday saying that Lenovo had pulled the controversial G02 retro handheld from sale um, following some backlash for saying it was never meant to be shipped to buyers outside of China. And apparently, it came with thousands of ROMs on the SD card.
Oh, so oh my life, yeah, Nintendo's gone for the throat on this one. Clearly.
And yes, apparently it was never meant to be shipped outside. It had loads of unlicensed ROMs on there, and yes, whilst it doesn't state that Nintendo, you can imagine Nintendo probably had the Rottweiler pack of their lawyers out and probably made some interesting. I don't want to say threats, but let's just say some interesting observations to Lenovo. What would happen if it continued to stay on
It'd be a
sale?
shame it's like happened to your business. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a speculation. We don't know that happens, but given Nintendo's aggressiveness to anybody who tries to do anything with their IP, yeah, I wouldn't want to be that person. Though, and interestingly, you and I were looking at it, weren't we? And the cost seemed to we were looking at it on AliExpress, but and
Wow.
the cost kept changing, didn't it? Like every 2 seconds.
Yeah, if I looked at the app, it was different from the website, and yeah, it changed massively, didn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see that Mr. Sweeney could not help himself and had to comment on the Steam Deck pricing rise?
No, I didn't see that. No, I must have missed that bit of news.
He has taken a swipe at Gabe Newell. He's put out a tweet saying, "Everyone's being too harsh here. There's been a significant rise in the cost of components that Steam customers' spending ultimately funds, and economic trends have created severe disruption in the component part supply chains for mega yachts." Yeah, obviously taking a dig at Gabe's was it Cypriot called Leviathan, isn't it? It's 111 meters wide, a $500 million vessel. It's got an onboard hospital, submarine garage, 15 gaming PCs, etc. Yeah, he got beaten brutally. The comment section, probably the top comment was, "Hey Tim, when was the last time Valve laid off their employees?" "Oh yeah, never." And they even backed that one up. Okay, so Valve lasted a layoff of 13 people back in 2019. Whilst Epic just made 1,000 employees 2 months ago. They kind of put, why not concentrate on your own finances rather than someone else's?
I was just going to say that is daft. You don't want to pick a fight with
Yeah.
with Gabe Newell because you're not going to win. Given you know, given the fact, as you say, he's got a very successful business. They stay within their lane. You know, they continue to make money. Um, unlike
What's it
Tim,
saying about throwing stones in glass houses?
that's the one. Yeah, unlike Mr. Sweeney, who is blowing millions on a legal battle with Apple, which he's never
Yeah.
going to really win, is he? So.
The community did not take kindly to that comment and put him in his place.
Yeah, don't crazy talk. Crazy man. Why would you do that? You know,
He can't help himself. He just
can't,
has
can
to
he?
have a comment on everything and try and
Yeah,
poo-poo everyone, doesn't
yeah, absolutely. Just nuts. But I guess it's a bit like a Trump situation. How do we deflect from what's really going on in the world?
he? Badly, apparently.
All right then. So we know it is WWDC in just over a week's time. We will
Yes,
have
it
the
is, yeah.
keynote on Apple's latest software updates coming for 2027, well, the end of 26, 2027. So we'll have all the information there that we're going to have on iOS 27, Mac OS 27, and beyond. But a story broke yesterday from Bloomberg, where they have published illustrations, I should cite, created by Bloomberg based on feedback, that apparently show what the design is going to look like of iOS 27. But more importantly, what it's going to look like um, on for the overhaul of Siri and things like the camera arguments as well. And so this was leaked by Bloomberg. Well, not leaked, I should argue. So this is been put by Bloomberg, reported. Yep. Thank you, that's a better word. And it looks like they've done. If you go to the Bloomberg site and you get access, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't with the paywall. But they've managed to do some kind of mock-up. I don't know whether they've done it in like Canva or they've even used like Swift Playgrounds. But it appears to work. And so it now appears that Siri is going to live, or she should not be mentioned, so sorry there. It's going to live inside the dynamic island as part of iOS 27. And there'll be two ways you'll be able to access her. Obviously, they'll be saying the magic word, holding down the power button, so that'll kick off a new animation that will launch in the dynamic island at the top. Or you'll be able to swipe down from the top part of the phone where it doesn't matter what app you're in or wherever you are on iOS 27, which will bring up a new search interface where you'll be able to put stuff into what she should not be mentioned and kind of access it through that way as well. There also appears to be code leaks that have come out already, and off the back of obviously Google's recent event,
Yep.
that suggest, isn't it, that iOS 27 is going to be fully opened up to the MCP model. So that's the model context
Third-party
protocol
agents. Yep.
for third-party agents. So, yeah, what do you think to this then?
I don't know. Right, this change. Just swipe down from the middle. Isn't that how you get to the notification center currently?
It is, isn't it? I've got my phone here. If I
So they're
swipe down from the
moving
top,
that where?
good question.
Because that's a muscle memory of
Top,
a
well,
whole lot of
they're,
years.
Bloomberg is saying to get hold of that now, you'll only swipe down from the top left corner of the phone.
Oh man.
So
Yeah,
top
that's going
right,
to take a lot of getting used to. Top right
top
gets you
right,
the
control
command
panel,
center,
top
doesn't it?
left, yeah, yeah.
I always put that's going to take an awful lot of getting used because that's been the default pull down for the last, I don't know, 10 years.
I think it has, yeah, it must be at least, isn't it?
That also makes that only possible to do if you're holding your phone in the left hand or using two hands. If you hold it in the right and you're using, you can't get to the top left now.
I hadn't thought about that because, yeah,
Not
just thinking
one-handed.
how,
I quite
yeah,
often
yeah,
one hand
no,
I'm swiping now, I'll pull down because I can reach that with my thumb, but I can't reach the top left without using my other
no.
hand. Oh man.
I know. So, and they're also saying that if you look at the Bloomberg site, and again, we should give credit where credit's due. They've done a great mock-up there. I really, really suggest you go have a look at it. Apparently, they've also showing illustrations of where she will be integrated into also the camera app and potentially the new standalone chatbot app as well, which has similarities to offerings from the usual players, OpenAI, etc. So it looks like it's going to become more of that chat agent style thing where it's going to have context aware of your own data that's on the phone, because we know Apple obviously are very key on device privacy, aren't we? And also there'll be new widgets as well in the camera app where you'll be able to pin specific controls and tools and things like
Could
that.
be handy, definitely.
Yeah, I quite look at that. But yeah, this was a bit of a surprise. I think nobody was expecting this to drop as it was, and where they got information on it, as well, is probably a question to be had. But it certainly, certainly makes us wonder, given how close we are.
I have some reservations because I thought one thing Apple was saying is about having on-device AI. That's no longer going to be the case, isn't it? You're not fitting Gemini or Claude on your phone. That's speaking to cloud servers. And this whole change in the user interface is it's going to be good if you want to use it, maybe, or more importantly, maybe if it's actually competent. I have no faith in Siri actually being good.
Well, what I would say here is if I'm allowed to use other agents and I still can get the access to it.
Yeah, I like that part, definitely, but it does kind of exclude a lot of the privacy part.
Yeah.
Because there's a free one. I know what Apple have already done with OpenAI, haven't they? Where it anonymizes.
That's right, yeah.
Obviously put in your own API key for more access, and then it knows exactly who you are.
Look, what I would say here, I'm interested to see how this works. I'm intrigued to know how Apple are going to make it work with other players. Like you say, OpenAI, they've already started that, but how's it going to work with Claude or whoever your flavor of application is? So I'm definitely curious to see how that works. Yeah. If it can actually use the context-aware information on my device, that is what I'm here for, because I just want to talk to it. Like when I'm in the car, I'm driving along, and I don't want to touch my device because it's illegal. But I could something on my mind, and it'd be like, "She should not be mentioned. Look at my calendar. If there's a free slot on Friday at 3:00, can you put in an appointment for me to talk to Karl about WWDC?" You know, and at the moment it can't do that. It's not clever enough, and there's no reason why, though it can't be, given the capabilities, is there? Or here's another question: is you've got an idea? I'm thinking along, and can you look at my notes for project? ABC. Add in, please, this another note about this. And again, there's no reason why it shouldn't be able to do that. But at the moment, it just is not capable of that. So perhaps with these new capabilities and leveraging the MCP, it'll be able to do that. I hope. Maybe. Or maybe I'm too wishful.
I mean, at least I can get away from not trying to open a browser to show me something in the car. then going, I can't do that because we're not allowed to open the browser because we're driving.
Yeah. Or the best one is I've got HomePods and I'm sat there in the living room, and our favorite task is you're watching a film or watching a program, and I get um I get something like, oh god, what that actress? God, I wonder how old she is now. So it's, hey, she was John Mason. How old is
Yeah.
you know? It's like, that's a very common question. 9 times out of 10, it'll answer, but then other times it's like, I found some results. If you can ask again from your iPhone,
No, no,
it's like,
no. If I wanted to do that, I would just open the iPhone to start off with.
yes, I don't want to do that. That's the whole point. I've got this device here that I can talk to. It's like, just, god damn it.
Well, we will see. I mean, obviously, what they announce will be possibly different from what they actually ship, but it'll be good to
True.
see what they're planning.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much down for this. So again, I really encourage you, if you're listening to this, please go across to the Bloomberg site if you can. Have a look at it. It is worth looking at that information.
Okay, tough decision time for Xbox ahead. So, a new internal memo from Xbox CEO Ashish Sharma surfaced. Yeah, with the headline phrase "tough decisions ahead." So, obviously, we spoke about Asha before and all the new stuff she's putting in. You know, she's teased a premium high end Xbox called what's that called again?
Helix,
Okay,
isn't it?
Helix. That's the one, which is a kind of high end PC stroke Xbox that can do the best of both worlds. We talked about Game Pass being too expensive, and she actually rectified that and cut the prices, which was great. But she's gone to say that we're building a stronger Xbox, and that means making a hard choice about what we build, where we invest, and what kind of company we need to be going forward. Um, yeah, she's basically had Microsoft's team working 24/7 sourcing memory for its gaming products. So RAM
Yep.
apocalypse again. Though Microsoft is one of the hyperscalers who are probably eating all the RAM anyway, so they're shooting themselves in the foot here. But I suppose Azure is probably more important and more profitable than Xbox is. Uh, but yeah, she didn't really say what the tough decisions were going to be. So I mean, could
No,
this be that they will can Project Helix and no longer have a new games console coming out? It could be. I mean, they want Xbox everywhere. Or that was the old saying, wasn't it? So, could we see radical changes to Game Pass? Though I know, I'm sure you sent me saying, was it last week, saying there's definitely not going to be a Game Pass family anymore.
that's right. There was a leak on that, wasn't there? Yeah.
That was definitely canned, which is really annoying because I would have signed up for that immediately. Could we be seeing cuts to the game studios, or canning the
I
ones
mean,
completely that haven't made a profit?
well, this is a question, isn't it? I mean, she what she said was that, you know, the past decisions on Game Pass have hurt their growth and retention, and that was
Yeah,
that fueled, didn't it, the cuts that we saw last month, wasn't it, where they cut some of the prices down to give a kind of a little bit of a, I guess, an apology, wasn't it? Look, you know, we want to keep you as a customer.
yeah,
Here's some good stuff. But you're right. I mean, Project Helix is not. I have a feeling they're not going to kill that because they're on. I reckon they're already on a path there. Considering if they're looking for memory and things like that, that tells me that they're
yeah.
planning something, aren't they? In that
But
sense,
then,
uh,
that could just be for the current Xbox Series X and S. From
oh,
what
maybe, yeah,
I
yeah.
can see, I think they said that what was it? The contract expires shortly, and they may have to renew it at today's inflated prices. So that could jack the price of the Xbox Series X and S.
That is absolutely, yeah. You're right. That could be there. I think we talked about this the other week, wasn't it? Around the day one releases that that they may
Yeah.
cut things like
Well, they
COD and
have. I
things
mean,
like that.
Forza Horizon. You only got that day one on Ultimate.
Yes,
All my kids have got Premium, which used to get you day one Microsoft releases. They didn't get Forza.
no, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, I think is probably the same from what I can see. I think you're right though. They've kind of not misjudged the post Activision world, but maybe right now it's a kind of, let's look at some of these smaller studios that aren't delivering. Where do we let things go? And yeah, the third party stuff, is that making the money? I don't really know, but we do know that hardware has terrible margins, isn't it? Absolutely terrible
Yeah,
margins.
it's a loss leader. It is.
Um, we know that making money at Steam, and people PlayStation Store on Steam are making more money per game as well because of their market. So I I just find it curious. I don't know.
I don't think we're going to see many exclusives. I think the
No.
reaction to having like Horizon 6 on PlayStation and what was the other one? Microsoft exclusive. What came out? It was a Microsoft exclusive or Microsoft game they then put out on PlayStation. I can't remember what it was recently, but they've been very well received on PlayStation. They made quite a bit of money for Microsoft.
I can see perhaps potentially the death of the next console. That I think that is a plausibility.
I mean, if
You
there
know,
are no exclusives and I can get all the Microsoft stuff on PlayStation along with the PlayStation exclusives, why, other than not liking Sony, why wouldn't I buy a PlayStation?
no, no. I mean, look, I I would say that at the moment I'm still kind of bullish that there is going to be a new console. But if there's anything to go, yes, I can see the logic in that going. And to your point, yeah, why have the exclusivity? Why not just then stick with the things they've been doing with Asus and stuff like that,
Or
isn't it?
today's
And
pricing, why not just buy a PC?
well, yeah, you know,
I mean, you
uh,
get all the Xbox games. Sony releases a load of PlayStation games onto PC as well. Uh, yeah, yeah, why not just get a PC?
there, there, kids, is today's advice. Why not just get a PC?
Get a PC. Go buy a Steam Deck.
Well, yeah, yeah, go buy a Steam Deck. What? No, no.
No, not today's pricing. No, no.
No. Well, look, I'm sure we will see information on this soon. We don't, the industry is not expecting a stabilization of component prices for at least another two
Nope.
years, are they, at this rate? I'd imagine that if anything's going to happen, Microsoft kick off their new fiscal year on the 1st of July. So I suspect we'll probably start to see more announcements towards the end of next month, really, won't we?
Yep, indeed.
And go from there. But yeah, definitely there are some cuts coming in one form or another, whether it be games, studios, or just hardware, who knows? But Xbox is under a lot of pressure to make themselves profitable and also reduce the churn, I would say, from subscribers, given that, the I guess upsets around Game Pass, which I still love Game Pass. I still think it is a fantastic bit of kit, and I don't want to get rid of it because it saved me a ton of money over the years. But it would be good to feel valued by it. Is that, I think, a good way to look at it?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, on that note, then, that's probably where we're going to wrap up for today. We'll be back next week for episode 250 with all the latest tech news and stories as we get close, almost imminently close to WWDC. We'll probably be sharing our thoughts on what we expect to see and what we probably expect not to see as well. But of course, please tell your friends about us. You can find this podcast wherever you're listening to it now, of course, whether that be Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and where other podcast suppliers are available. Well, that's a weird statement. You can get all of our show notes at techrant.online. And with that, I've been Jay.
I've been Karl. Have a good one all.